Hello and welcome to the weekly Wind Spirit card pull. This week, I don't know if one has a favorite wind, but I love the story about this wind mother. Her name is Yalana, and she's the Turkish wind of guidance. And her message this week is for us to pause, reflect, and accept. And one of the things about Yalana is when the nomads used to wander the deserts in Turkey, they were called wind believers. And now in modern day Turkey, there's very little signs left of these ancient traditions. One of the wind clan members went to Turkey and looked all over to see if she could find any kind of signs or anything that led us to Yalana. And one other thing about her is that at the end of my research of Winds of Spirit on the winds, a lot of them at the very end became the wind mothers. There's Mari, the Basque wind, Yalana, there's Bejamate, and they showed up at the very end of the trajectory towards that I was working on. And I was kind of going from wind to wind, being guided to the next wind. And so she's all about guidance. So even telling that story about how the winds of spirit came about was from being wind directed from one grain of sand to the next, which is how a windstorm actually starts in the desert. There's like one grain of sand ricochets off another grain of sand until there's like this simoon of energy going on. And so ask yourself, as we look at this week, where do I need guidance? Where do I need to pause and reflect? When the sands are shifting, invoke the wind mother to provide the patience necessary to wait out the brewing storm. So with its close proximity to Asia and Africa, Turkey was at the hub of ancient civilizations, responsible for advancing agriculture and technology. The fertile landscape provided ideal conditions for humans to develop intimate relationship with forests, mountains, rivers, seas, and desert. The wandering tribes, the Uruk, who traveled through Anatolia, were wind believers offering sacrifices to the wind goddess Yalana. So what is Yalana telling you? What sacrifices might you need to make as you wait for some guidance? If her appearances in the south indicates that you need to hunker down, stay put, keep your mouth closed, and listen. Relax and pamper yourself. Know that the entire community benefits and flourishes when every individual is safe and healthy. So, emotions can be our mugworts, like bushes in the desert, and they can expose us to the harshest elements. One of the things that Yalana reminds us is that when we wait and we respond instead of reacting, then we probably will make a better step forward. And sometimes it means hunkering down until the sandstorm stops and then reassessing the situation and then navigating based on the way the terrain looks with all of the elements at that time. So let's call to Yalana, the Turkish wind goddess of guidance, and see what she brings in for us. So as we do, bring in the first breath and root yourself into that desert. See those roots going down like those mugworts or those palm trees, which have like a really intricate root system that goes deep into the earth so that they can survive when the desert's parched. So, where are your roots deep enough to help you in times when you're not getting a lot of sustenance from the outside world? Ask yourself that when we blow that first wind whistle. And on the second one, bring into Yalana, ask her to come in and guide you, to give you guidance in your life. And then on the third one, let's put ourselves in an energy cocoon, an energy bubble, so that we can start to pay attention to what guidance is for us and what guidance doesn't belong to me at all. All right, are you ready? On the first one, we're sending our roots down into the desert earth. And then we're going to call to Yalana, the wind mother. that she can guide us through that desert storm when we can't see right what's in front of us, but that we know enough to pause, reflect, and trust and wait. And we can wipe that desert sand out from our eyes. It got in there, and now we're going to create an energy bubble so that we will know that the guidance is for us, so that we'll be able to discern. As I was zipping up for this week's teaching, I could feel like, boy, it was a nice, gentle, almost a motherly enveloping of energetics that I received there with Yelena. Remember, the Wind Mothers are stern teachers still, but they can show more patience, a little more love, and she's going to definitely come in this week. If you have the book Winds of Spirit, there's several pages you can read about her in. If not, make sure you get this book. This is a really important book for our times because the winds are blowing. They're strong out there. This book just won a Nautilus Gold Award in religion, other non-traditions. So it's really exciting that it's, this book of when God was wind is coming into play in this world right now, because the winds outside are blowing. Things are really moving about, and we need to really be able to stop, call upon Yelena for guidance, and pause, reflect, and accept. All right, until next week, I'm Renee, the Practical Shaman. You can learn more about me over at thepracticalshaman.com. I do a weekly podcast with Sandra Ingerman called The Shaman's Cave. Learn about that at shamanstv.com. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week.